I don't know if you could hear that. I really hope so. Oh, hey there, folks. How are you doing? You ever heard of Gordon Ramsay? Popular TikToker.
Okay, big boy, let's go.
Oh, you haven't seen Chef Gordon's masterful TikToks that just seem like his manager or his agent or whoever is in charge of publicity at the Gordon Ramsay Incorporated company just handed him a phone one day and said, hey, these videos will be good for marketing, so just do whatever. We've got a collection of people's videos cooking food, and you just bully them, dude. You just do your thing. Do your thing, Gordon. So Gordon's TikToks are a lot of just him holding the phone at arm's length and just saying whatever comes to his mind. And I really enjoy watching that.
Okay, DIY room service. Is that a 9? What about some salt? No, not for an egg and a coffee percolator. Ready? Really? Come on, Max!
Cheese.
Oh no! I can't wait. Let's go, big boy. Come on, big boy. That's my... Okay, big boy, let's go. All right, big boy.
Before being the TikTok sensation that he is now, Gordon was the host of possibly the greatest reality TV show of all time. Kitchen Nightmares. Specifically, the US version of the show. Because while the UK, the British one, it's perfectly fine. There it is. There's something wholly entertaining about watching the foul-mouthed English boy just rag on a collection of idiots from the US of A. There's something so great about that. That and the over-editing, the oversimplification, and just the overall goofiness of the show makes it just art. It's a piece of art. Some of my favorite memories from this past year, this dog shit year we just had, was drunkenly eating pizza while watching Gordon just bully fully grown adults in their own businesses. It makes me happy, and I really want to share that. Also, every video I make tends to take 3,000 to 4,000 months to complete, so I figured I'd start the year off with something simple and see if that encourages me to make more. We'll see how that goes. I don't even know if this will be uploaded in January, but... So my intentions for this video is to showcase Kitchen Nightmares, and in particular, an episode that it's just got everything you'd want from a kitchen nightmare. And there's also some weird shit about it too, so we're gonna talk about that.
Tonight, it's the most intense kitchen nightmares of the year, and finds a family at war. The chef has completely given up and is out of control.
So this episode of Kitchen Nightmares features two of the classic scenarios you get in this show. A family that doesn't get along, but has to because they're all in business together, and a disgruntled chef who's an asshole. You got 2 for 1.
The burger kitchen. Wow.
If this isn't the summary of Kitchen Nightmares, I don't know what is. Gordon's barely in the door and he's like, fuck! You know, he's just swearing at them already. The format of the show demands that he has to sit down with the owners of the restaurant and talk to them a bit before he tries the food. It's the formula. You gotta stick to it.
How long have you been open?
16 months.
So 16 months ago?
Yeah.
So just opened?
Yes.
Is the business making money?
No.
What's going wrong?
Yelp has killed us. Yelp has trashed us terribly. They're also deleting 5-star reviews.
Okay, so before I talk about the wacky character that is Alan Safran, I have to mention the sound design. The sound design for most reality TV shows is not good. We all know this. They like to use a lot of sound effects and music to create emotional depth where there isn't, create tension where there really isn't. But Kitchen Nightmares is on a whole other level. The sound mixing in this is horrible. You can hear all the background noise and murmuring from the people in the restaurant for some reason.
16 months.
I guess realism, but on top of that, they have this background track throughout the whole thing that just gets overplayed, and on top of that, you get all the... What the fuck am I doing? I have to add these sounds in post, so for me, I'm not just... There's no sound.
In order to open, my husband went to my son. And now my son Daniel is in for another, I think, over $250,000 as well, because he inherited some money too.
I was managing his money, so I actually took part of that money.
And as the manager of his funds, you then invested in the business.
Yes.
Did your son Daniel know?
Well, of course, he knew eventually.
What do you say eventually?
I told him after the fact.
What?
I love Alan because he's such a weird guy. He's so blatantly himself, and that's beautiful. But the smile on this man's face when he's admitting that he stole his own son's money. It's like, well, yeah, of course I needed the money for the burger business. You understand, Gordon. You understand. Come on, I needed my business to work, so I stole $250,000. I swindled my son out of his inheritance. In every episode, the guy running the restaurant says, the food is great, it's fantastic. 9, 10 out of 10 almost. And then Gordon tries it. And I'll save you the hassle. I'll save you the shock. Food's bad.
Wow, that's nasty. That's the award-winning burger. Greasy, cooked to hell. Damn, it's dreadful. What a mess. I mean, that is disgusting.
So as far as Gordon is concerned, from what he's been told, the problem with the food is the chef, obviously. I've been through a bunch of chefs. And this current chef is obviously bad because he's the executive chef. And as far as Gordon knows, the executive chef decides the menu. That's how it works in most restaurants. But not in Burger Kitchen. That's not how it works.
I follow the recipes as I am told by the owners. And if I try to change the recipes, I am tossed out of here.
What?
What about the mushrooms? You changed the whole recipe and you added wine.
You didn't want salt on the mushrooms. Let's tell the truth.
Honey, you're missing the point. You're focusing on a mushroom.
The mushrooms are important to me. I'm from Poland.
Jen is an interesting character. I like her. I mean, she's not nice, but I think she's fun. She has many great line deliveries in these 2 episodes. She's a lot of fun to watch on screen. But for some reason, the mushrooms are very important to me. I'm from Poland. Just takes the cake as just... She says it with such confidence, as if it's something we'd all know. It's something we should all be aware of. That she is from Poland, where the mushrooms are very important. More important than LGBTQ plus rights. Moving right along.
That Jen is a liar, dude. She can't tell the truth. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, totally, man. That's crazy. This I don't know if he's the kitchen assistant or the sous chef. I'm not sure what his role in the kitchen is, but he is my spirit animal.
Crazy.
I just love him. Okay, he's barely in the episode, but every time he's on screen, I'm just like, I get this guy. He's just there for the paycheck. He doesn't care about any of the drama going on. He's in a scenario that I think everyone has been in, where you're with, like, say, a group of friends, and 2 of them have an argument, that you've got no stake in it. You're not taking part in it. And then immediately, like, the friend group, like, breaks off and everyone's going home. And you're stuck walking home with one of the people who was in the big argument there. And they're, like, still heated about it. They're still angry about it. And they're like, fuck it, I can't believe this. He's so angry. You can't disagree with your mate when he's just like, fuck it out. I hate our friend, he sucks. You can't disagree with that. So your options are just to be like,
It's crazy.
Chef Ramsay decides to visit Daniel to get his perspective on the issues at Burger Kitchen.
Daniel, hi.
See that over there in the corner? That big ass light? That totally hidden, with it's so sneaky. That light's so sneaky, we can barely see it. I imagine what happened was the production company were filming this in the evening and they couldn't really rely on the natural light of the sun, much like myself, for continuity purposes. So their quick solution was just to put this big ass light up in the corner to kind of illuminate the room as well as they could. I know all about that. I'm a film student, in case you couldn't tell from the everything. I gotta know about cinematography. I don't know, you just kind of put the camera and make things look pretty. This is my one real gripe with reality TV shows. They're staged. And we know they're staged. We as an audience, we're aware that they're staged. And the people making them are the ones staging them. So everyone is aware that it's staged. The story is real, the people are real, yeah. But it's made for TV. It has to fit into a format. And so I don't know why there's this constant thing to try and hide the fact that it's staged. It creates this scenario where I'm meant to believe, as a viewer, that Gordon has no idea what he's walking into, and he's just randomly meeting these people for the first time. Someone at the production company has obviously met and talked with them, but we're meant to believe Gordon has never interacted with them before. And yet he chooses to help them before knowing that. And he randomly shows up to their apartment for no reason. I'm meant to believe for some reason that this is not staged. Like, the guy opens the door, he's like, "Oh, Gordon, what are you doing here in my apartment that clearly hasn't been set up for an interview, that we've pushed all the furniture against the wall and left enough space for you and a whole camera crew to fit in easily and move about?" Should I say that line again? Come on, why just cut through that a little bit? Just do answer interviews. There's fucking talking heads. Anyways, back at the ristorante, Gordon eats the chef's burger and learns that, whoa, chef's good at his job if chef was left to be the chef. But chef's not allowed to be chef.
Right. If I try to do a change, I'm persecuted for making a change.
He wants to blame me for everything in the kitchen. Chef. And I'm not that powerful, Chef Ramsay. I'm a 64-year-old woman. I can't control it, all this.
I love how Jen, like, she has such confidence and how she doesn't have confidence. She's like, I'm not in charge. You can see I'm standing up for myself, but I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge. How would I be in charge?
How am I that powerful? Do you see a chef hat on me? Do you see me swirling the pans or making the patties or chopping the mushrooms or putting the salt on?
I'd really love an extended cut of her just listing more things she doesn't do in the kitchen. Do you see me preparing the patties or crushing the garlic or lighting the oven or taking things out of the freezer? You don't see me checking if the steak is rare or if the chips are cooked, or do you see me with the chef's hat with the little rat inside?
Thank you. Thank you.
Stop there 2 seconds. I want to see the place in operation. You running your job, watching you do your job, and you running the kitchen.
So I took notes when I was watching this to kind of like get some good bits. And I just wrote here, there's so much intro in this episode that the first day of service starts at minute 30 and the episode is 42 minutes long. There's just so much shit to establish that then just gets fucking dropped.
When a customer gets up, second time round and walks out and leaves their food, and now it's terrible. Burger kitchen, burger massacre.
So the first day of service goes bad. I know, you're surprised. You're about as surprised as I am. And I know Chef Gordon Ramsay, over these episodes, he's always just spitballing. He's always just like throwing puns, throwing jokes out there, seeing what lands. And then, you know, they go into the edit if they're good. But this particular one sounds like bad ADR. And if it is automated dialogue replacement, why? Why, if they had the chance to write him a better joke, does he say that? It's not even a pun. It's just Burger Kitchen, more like a Burger Massacre. They had the time to give him a better line. Like, they added a line in, but why that one? Like, they could have given him a bad pun. Look, instead of that, he could have said, Burger Kitchen, more like Burger Bathroom, am I right? Because bathrooms are a stinky room that no one wants to be in unless they're shitting. Or, you know, you could play off the sound of the kitchen, the K sound, which you didn't in that joke, but whatever. I've had 10 years to think about this. I'm sorry, Gordon. It just gets to me, all right? You could say Burger Kitchen, more like Burger Catastrophe. You're welcome. Chef David Blaine, the magician, gets fired.
Threaten me? Get the out right now.
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out right now. Right now. Get the out right now. Out.
For threatening to beat up Daniel. But he does it in the funniest way.
I'm gonna jump over the side of this thing and knock your ass out.
But still fired. He's been fired. And he doesn't return. You know, rip Chef. There's still a bit of family drama going on, but nothing that won't carry on into episode 2. Part 2 shifts the focus to Danny living in a fucked up purgatory where everything's shit. This man finds himself in a situation he has no desire to be in. He has to run a business, he has to run a ristorante, not because he loves food or loves serving customers, but because his parents, the people who opened the business, are so incompetent, he has to be there. Not to mention the fact his dad essentially just fucked his finances up so much, he has no option but to be there, but to make this stupid, shitty burger place work. Sorry, ma'am. My mom watches all my videos, and also hates the fact that I swear so much. So I'm gonna try and stop swearing so much, ma'am. Even though the focus of the episode shifts mostly to the one sympathetic person in this, Daniel, Gordon still finds time to just show how much of an arsehole Alan Safran is. So he locks him in a room full of Yelpers who, in Alan's own words,
The office trashed us terribly. They're also deleting 5-star reviews.
Alan does his usual shtick.
No, you're missing my point. Missing my point.
This is ridiculous.
I'm ready to talk now, especially the way my son blasted me.
And then says the bare minimum to sound like he's improving.
Chef Ramsay, maybe I'm obsessed and I'm wrong.
And then they all applaud and go back to the restaurant for the resolution part of the episode, or as I like to call it,
clearing the air / boiling every problem they have down to one thing that seems solvable in one conversation.
You know, that part of the episode. And it's at this point where I realized while I was watching that these are real people with real lives and real problems, and it feels very exploitative of the show, and by extension myself, to turn them into entertainment. They've been turned into oversimplified characters of themselves, and that's not cool. But they did sign a release form for this episode to be aired, so
I guess that puts me in the clear.
To sum up this whole thing, Alan loves being in control, but he's shit at it. Danny doesn't want to be in control, but he's pretty good at it. Danny's girlfriend just wants to support her man. And Jan...
Ushers are important to me.
Danny says his piece, and then Gordon decides to read some extracts from Alan's book about his father. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about the book in a minute. You'll see why it's worth the wait. A resolution is reached. Quite easily, I might add. Probably because there's more interesting things and more entertaining things happening with the rest of the episode. So now we get to see the business work with Gordon's improvements, one new burger, and family members not arguing all the time. And to sum it all up, it goes like this.
Alright then, you cooking the burger?
Yeah, I'm cooking the burger. Alright then, you cooking the burger?
Dad, I've already asked him that. Listen to me.
Alan, you gotta listen to your son, mate.
When Gordon told me the same thing my son had been saying to me for years, it blew my mind. It just put everything into perspective. Also, did I tell you guys about my book? I'm writing a book. I don't know if I mentioned it.
Tomorrow we are saying goodbye to the past and we are relaunching this restaurant. I got some serious work to do. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
So possibly the worst part of every episode of Kitchen Nightmares is the restaurant makeover. Because while some of the businesses need some like technical updates and stuff like that, the redesigns are fucking awful. They're the ugliest shit ever. Gordon Ramsay is the king of restaurant gentrification. He excels at that every time. Yeah, sometimes they take a restaurant that doesn't have a ton of personality and, you know, it's somehow, I guess it's an improvement technically. But most of the time, the Kitchen Nightmares crew work tirelessly throughout the night, taking a restaurant with tons of character and personality and just, wow, IKEA display. It just looks like an IKEA display. And hey, I love IKEA too. I love going to IKEA. What the joy of going to IKEA is that you can leave IKEA and you don't have to work in a place that looks like IKEA.
It's relaunch night at the Burger Kitchen.
Alright then, you cooking the burger for relaunch night?
Yeah, I'm cooking the burger on relaunch night. Hey chef, you cooking the burger on relaunch night?
Dad, fuck off.
Alright, I'm gonna go with other customers.
Why?
I'm just gonna be disruptive like that.
Could you not though?
Could you not though? When Gordon said the same thing my son had been saying to me for years. Did we film this a bit yesterday? I don't know, did I tell you guys about my book? I wrote a book. It's about my dad. Okay, so Alan's book. Alan Saffron is the author of both Gentle Satan, My Father, Abe Saffron, and Gentle Satan, Growing Up with Australia's Most Notorious Crime Boss. Yeah, if they kind of forgot to bring that up in the episode, didn't they? I have read neither of these books, mainly because one of them is £152 and I strongly suspect they're both the same book, published with different subtitles. So while I was editing this video, I found another copy of Alan Saffron's book being sold. Just, you know, another subtitle for it. And I just thought I'd mention it. Because this guy wrote the same book 3 times and then published them all in like the space of 2 years, maybe? Cool, dude. So obviously I don't know who decided not to include any of this information in these 2 episodes, but Alan Saffron's dad, Daniel Saffron's granddad, was a big old gangster over in Australia for many decades until he passed. And his public/legal persona was that of a hotel, brothel, and restaurant owner. There's a very detailed account about this whole thing on the blog, the Millie Lily blog, which I'll leave a link in the description. I'm just going to read parts of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing because that'd be mean. And there's only 1 or 2 points that I really want to bring up. Firstly, Abe Saffron left $1 million Australian dollars to each of Alan's kids. He had 5 of them, even though Daniel is the only one ever mentioned in the show, and gave Alan $500,000, which is supposedly all of the money that was invested in the restaurant, including the money he stole from his son. Not only that, when they were still living in Australia, Alan Saffron ran a steakhouse, quite successfully apparently. Although also apparently his dad kept a lot of his businesses afloat, so who really knows where success is there. A lot of the blog talks about timeline discrepancies, how a lot of things don't add up, what they say on the show and what you can actually look up. You know, they don't quite align. How Daniel says that he doesn't want to work in the restaurant, he hates being there, he doesn't want to be involved in it, he was kind of tricked into it. But then on websites where there's reviews for the restaurant, he's talking back to people being like, well, me and my dad put everything into this business. This is our livelihood, he says. But is he lying to Gordon? Is he lying to random strangers on the internet? He's lying to someone. The blog then goes on to suggest that this whole thing was put together, orchestrated by the Saffron family to promote Alan's book. Which, if true, they fucking failed at that. The book's only ever brought up twice, it's only ever mentioned by name once, and there's no indication of what the book's even about. It's just, hey, I wrote this book about my dad. But unless you Google the title, you wouldn't know that it's about this big gangster boy. So that's, you know, they're very bad at promoting. I mean, maybe Alan and his family mentioned it a whole lot while filming, and then when they were editing it together, they just chopped all those bits out to make more room for Gordon's quips.
Burger Kitchen, Burger Massacre.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already.
So in summary, Kitchen Nightmares is a big mess of a show, but it's a big mess of a show that I really enjoy watching. So just remember,